I have no idea what just happened with that video that I just made. And it was a good one too. Little stinkers. I'll give it that. But what I was saying is there's a huge difference between a truth and a belief. Like, for example, my parents do that a lot. And it frustrates me because I know exactly what they're doing. They're deflecting from wanting to take accountability. Like my mother said, I respect your beliefs. No, these are not my beliefs. These are truths. I know exactly. And especially when I say something along the lines of I'll live in my four walls and a lie when I'm the only one telling the truth, and you chuckle. Really? What is funny about that statement? What would be funny, the fact that your daughter would say something like that? That's even more crazy, if you think about it, now that I say that out loud. It's just freaking nuts, man. It's nuts that my parents are so implicated by cults and government that have done nothing for them in religious groups. My parents have had to shop with calculators a better portion of my younger years, and it's just crazy how they've literally went against their own daughter. I mean, and again, I know I'm blood, but what is blood really at this point in the venture? You're the earthly, and they've played their part. They've helped me grow and learn things that I never would have learned had I not been their daughter. So I give them great thanks in that. That said, there's a couple things that I wanted to touch on. All right, these are truths. Okay, the truth is my content is extremely censored, period. All right, my YouTube account, they won't let me get to 50. And my Facebook is censored. Anytime I go live, it logs me out. It gets all crunchy. Like even when I did a little podcast or like an interview with Tay a few months ago, pretty much everything I said was bleeped out. And so these are all things that are truth. These are truths. These are not beliefs. These are facts. Okay. Because I want to establish the difference here. All right. So when you recognize what your truths are, you get to a point where you do not care whether or not people believe you, because you know they're your truths. Like I know the things that I know have been bestowed onto me for many, many years now. Okay. Particularly the last 2 years, but this has been something ongoing since 2015. Okay. Meaning my ex-husband was all in it and is definitely all in it. It's all very much intertangled. All right. These are all truths. These are not beliefs. They are truths. Okay. And if they weren't truths, then they wouldn't have went out of their way to smear me and to humiliate me and put me through all this grossness of operations of psychological, spiritual, physical, and mental and financial warfare if they weren't truths. So these are all truths. That's all been established, right? To live in a world, and this is where it's so crazy, like when it comes to the whole Charlie thing, like Charlie did not wake up to the fact that he was living a lie, right? Which is really sad to think. Like everybody in his life, he would have died for it, and he did die for it. But me, on the other hand, I have woken up to it, and it's even more harder to be in the nit and gritty of it, and still be awoke to it, because you just never fathom to be put in a world surrounded by people that are literally just not wanting you to be here, or not wanting you to be successful, not wanting to share your truths based off everything that they've done. And it's also crazy to me that we live in a world where people are so mean and vengeful and hateful. I never in my wildest dreams thought that I would be attacked by a spiritual community, by a religious community. But then I look at everything that Charlie went through, everything that we're all going through, because in different ways we are all, this is why this is a spiritual attack. And you fill in the blanks. Everything's censored right now. That's why I'm not going to be spending much time on this thing. I'm going to focus on other things. Belief. A belief is a personal or collective conviction about reality, meaning, and morality. It is shaped about upbringing, culture, experiences, and or faith. I believe prayers work. Our community believes ritual cleanses the soul. My community definitely believes in rituals, like humiliation ritual, smear campaign ritual. They definitely carry the belief in that. That's a checkaroo for my community. Now, let me tell you something when it comes to a belief. Like growing up, I've had to reprogram my mind because growing up, I was raised to believe XYZ when it came to the political arena. I was raised to believe XYZ when it came to religion. I was raised to believe that I had no voice. I was raised to feel like I needed to dim my light. I was raised to be a people pleaser. I was raised to feel that I didn't amount to anything, that I was useless. And I was completely, and again, not throwing shade on my family, but these are just generational curses, okay? From both of my parents. And if they were truly honest and authentic with themselves, they'd own it. But they don't want to, and that's okay. I will own it, okay? I have no ill will, but these are things that I had to reprogram my mind from, and recognizing that this is not normal treatment, okay? Nobody deserves their light to be dimmed. Everybody has a voice, and everybody has truth. Nobody deserves to be mistreated because so-and-so and so-and-so and so-and-so said something. And because so-and-so and so-and-so and so-and-so is a part of something. And because so-and-so and so-and-so and so-and-so has lots of money. And we want lots of money. I mean, really? Is that it? Well, no, that's not gonna work for me. Right? Because I don't run on money. I don't run on ego. That's why I have a divine connection with God. I wish I could have people just shadow me. I don't know if I'm sharing some of the stuff that I said in my last video because my phone has been acting right. A truth, this is the best part of it. A truth is something that exists and operates regardless of whether anyone believes it. That is a truth. Okay? Everybody carries their own truth. You know what your truths are, but you have to get to a place in your walk where you own your truths. And you're like, oh, yes, I was an addict. I had an addiction problem. Yep, carry that one. I haven't always been a great parent. Yep, carry that one. I wasn't a number one employee 24/7. Yep, carry that one. But did I dang near kill myself for employers that I've worked for? Yep, carry that one. That's a truth. So both of those are a truth. Checkaroos on that, okay? Was I always a number one friend? Yep, correct. Or I wasn't always a number one friend. Correct. However, did I go against people? Did I plan their demise? Did I manipulate them? Golly, my best friend, my previous best friend, that is the worst. One of the worst ones. That stung the most. That one right there. That one. Because I now see how much she has manipulated my life. And I allowed it because I was broken. I was broken. Usually, I will tell you this. Let me just give you a snippet on this. Most people that talk about narcissistic people and manipulators are the ones that are the most narcissistic and manipulative people of them all, generally speaking. In my opinion. You don't have to agree. Agree to disagree on that one. However, because most people that are not narcissistic and not manipulative, they don't focus on that. They don't. They recognize the characteristics that ride alongside those, but they don't focus about it. They don't talk about it. Like I had a lot of friendships that talked a lot about that. That's all they talked about. It's like, why are we talking about this so much? Why are we focused on so many things? You know what I mean? People are who they are. I think we all carry those tendencies, but we don't need to talk about it. If you talk about things all the time, it's going to be your number one focus. It's going to be where all your energy goes. That's why it's very important for you to be intentional with what you think about. It's very intentional. It's very important for you. And that's why it's always very important to think positively and not negatively, whether it's about yourself or whether it's about others, you know, and that's a whole thing. I mean, just today, the mechanics of how people operate, you know, I mean, it's like, I get it. You don't have to like me. I get it. I am very different. I am very authentic. I'm very true. I'm very, like, I am me. Hear me roar. You like it, don't love it, or whatever. And I respect you for that. That is me. I walk in my truths. I walk in my authenticity. And when we live in a world created by fake facades, it rubs people the wrong way. I get that. But we don't have to like break bread. You know what I mean? I'm cool with that. Can you just like quit with the nonsense and be better people? You know, can you just like slice that for one day? Just give me a like a Hail Mary as you go into church Sunday and you pray. Could ya? Or maybe on a Wednesday praying, you know, whatever. I mean, come on, man. It's crazy. Grown people. Okay. Truth is a reality of itself. It doesn't need your belief to be true. It does not. Your belief, it doesn't need to be there for it to be true. Your truth is your truth. You know, all my unfavorable season, that's my truth. You know, when it comes to my ex-husband and the unraveling of that, and somebody